Welcome back to my 18th video complaining about Destiny. Just to get out of the way, I do play other games. I do obviously post other videos. It's just that right now I feel like talking about Destiny, so I'm gonna post mostly about Destiny. I had a Warframe phase, a couple months ago. The point is that at some point, trust me, I will post a video other than me talking about Destiny for like an hour. Um, Anyways, that's beside the point. Joe Blackburn, I believe, is the game director. He released a impromptu video on Twitter that's 15 minutes long. Didn't watch it, but someone on the forum was nice enough to put all the notes and wrote down all the stuff. And from what I've seen, they haven't really missed anything. But and to save everyone time, in my brain, I just see this as, guys, we're gonna do things next year. We promise. It's just another word. It's words. Just like how I said with the state of the game, all I'm saying is fluff filler BS. There wasn't as much fluff filler BS. He did say we're gonna do X, Y, and Z, and they gave actual, descriptions of what they're doing. But it all comes back to, again, if I actually cared enough, I could edit in all the shit they've said in the past. Oh, we'll never do sunsetting. We'll never bring back Gallahorn. We haven't renewed folks on PvP. Stuff like that. Oh, the most rewarding thing too. I could just edit in all this crap over the last decade of the shit they've gone back on and shit they've said that hasn't really panned out. All kinds of crazy shit, and then splice in the icing on top, which would be basically what this comes across this video. If I could sum it up as a reference, is if you ever saw the South Park episode of the BP oil spill and it's the president saying we're sorry, that's it. It just feels like damage control, and maybe I'm alone in this. I have seen some other people say it, but and the Destiny community makes me laugh. Obviously I'm a part of it too, but I've seen an overwhelming support of Joe Blackburn and stuff like that for just simply saying, you know what, it took a lot of balls for you to come out and say that you're sorry and you fucked up. And again, maybe I have dementia, get some form of mental illness that I've been undiagnosed with, but I maybe it's a society thing, bottom text. But to me, this is just not even bare. This is, I guess, I'll be generous. This is bare minimum. How is saying you're sorry and you fucked up? Here's how we're gonna fix the problem. How is that so praiseworthy? You don't praise a fish for swimming, right? You don't praise someone. I don't know. To me, the best way I could describe this is if YouTuber apologies, right? They're notorious for being, dog shit, right? A lot of the YouTuber apologies, they never acknowledge a problem. They keep saying this and that. They have a stress sigh and animals on. Everyone knows a YouTube apology by the books, right? And so when you have a YouTuber that says, I am sorry for doing X, Y, and Z, and I will do better, the end. When they do that, which is, again, bare minimum, my brain, this is not even a thought. It's how you breathe. This is what you're supposed to do, right? They get, oh my god, this is the best apology ever. This person really stuck. And I'm thinking, damn, is the bar really that low now that even doing something as bare minimum as coming out and saying, hey, we fucked up, is now praiseworthy? I see so many people praising, oh, Joe Blackburn, this is so incredible. He has so much balls. I don't know. Obviously people will say, well, they don't have to say anything. He didn't have to make this video, and you're right. He didn't have to say shit. But they made this video in their own best interest because community negative sentiment is at an all-time high. They need some way to defuse the bomb, so they released this. They don't have to. They don't have to do TWABs. They don't have to release videos. They don't have to talk to the community at all. But it will affect their business. They'll start losing players. You'll have, again, that anger will eventually turn into disinterest, apathy, and people will leave. So I just that's why that reasoning never really made sense to me. Where if someone said, well, Joe Blackburn didn't have to make this video. Like I said, I don't know how it's so brave, stunning and brave to come out and say, yeah, we fucked up. Here's a new PvP team thing we're working on. A new PvP strike team. Let's see how this pans out, by the way. Remember the first time they said about renewed focus on PvP? So yeah. It really baffles me the response this video's getting. Again, I know people put clickbait in their thumbnails, but I saw the Astacross thumbnail was this PvP saved. I don't know. this makes me want to go down an entire tangent about like people, community, like how this community's just been, I don't even know, it's like Stockholm syndrome times 12. Do I really want to do this? Fuck it. Ultimately, I'll say like this. Destiny is the way it is because of two reasons. One is Bungie, obviously, and two is the community. The phrase you give an inch to take a mile, right? This community has multiple times had times to draw lines in the sand, but they just don't do it. Again, a great example is the Eververse, right? To this day, I've been playing this franchise for 10 years. I have not bought any cosmetics, not a single one out of Eververse. Every cosmetic I've owned, all the ornaments I own, I've earned through bright engrams or bought with bright dust. Like, here, let me show you all my bright dust. I have a lot of bright dust. I play the game. I have a lot of bright dust. The point being, the Eververse wouldn't be as heavily monetized and pushed as much if it wasn't making that much money. If they made more money from other parts of the game, they probably would invest in more parts of the game. Eververse makes them like gangbusters, a shit ton of money. So of course you're gonna put their time and resources into that. That's an obvious. If you're a business owner, that makes sense. You put more money and time into what's making you the most money. So again, the way the Eververse store ultimately ends up is because again, people buy this shit. Again, I know people who are like me that don't like to say the game, and all this other crap, but they'll still buy, the $20 thing. They'll still buy all this armor. They'll still buy all these cosmetics, and I'm like, well, that's part of the problem. You guys, I'm serious. Like, that does actually annoy me a little bit. I understand, fashion frame to endgame, right, from Warframe, but just even a little restraint will go a long way. The point being, all the way back in 2015 when Taken King came out, again, I remember that data video very well, and I was in the same opinion. It's a very slippery slope. All of it had our emotes and I think some other crap, but people kept buying into it, and then look where we were in Destiny 2 Year 1. There's nothing to chase, and all the cool shows in Eververse. It still kind of is like that right now. But, anyways, tangent aside, we'll actually know to circle back to just this community response where something in my mind that I think is, again, even basic. Like, I don't expect them to do it, but even if they did do that, I don't suddenly like perk them and say, wow, I can't believe they did this thing. It's like, okay, he came out and said, we fucked up, we're going to focus on PvP more, and one of the Eververse sets is going to be going to be the new ritual set, we're going to do this and that, and I'm thinking all I hear are more promises. At this point, especially, again, 10 years of this shit, actions really do speak louder than words. They've said so many promises over the last 10 years, and they've gone back on them. They've done this. Again, even in as recently as the state of the game, they said last year they'd do a ritual armor set every year, and then they couldn't even do that. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know what this community. Like I said, I guess. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. Maybe I have too much. Maybe I have high standards for expecting a game to be fucking good or something. I don't know. I put more money in this game than any other game I've ever played in my life. Right? Crazy. But like I said, all this stuff that they're talking about now seems like it's coming out throughout the season or throughout the year of Final Shape. And again, I don't. Maybe I'm an exception, but for me, I'm Final Shape. That's it. Like, once I'm done with the storyline, or I guess the free season. Fuck that. I'm not even playing the free season. Once I'm done with the story of Final Shape, and I've done the raid, and I've done whatever the fuck, that's it. Destiny for me is over. That's just how it is. I don't know, man. All these, again, every time I see these changes, it's too little, too late. Like, 10 years of this shit, man. 10 years of this shit, and I don't know. It's crazy to me. And then you have people that they eat this up, like, oh my god, things are changing. And I did see a post that someone's like, hey, and I understand the sentiment. And all he said on the forum was like, I still have hope. This gave me a little hope, and I understand that. But I've learned, it only took me 10 years, that they kind of do that on purpose, right? They give you enough, they give you a little hope just to string you along long enough until you stick around, right? That's how I ended up here. But yeah, pretty much it. TLDR, we'll see. We will see. I guess the showcase is on next week. So, oh, I will complain about that too. You will bet your ass I will complain about that too. Or who knows? Maybe the showcase will be the best thing ever and solve all our problems. And I'll be playing this game and for another 10 years. I doubt it. But honestly, again, I don't. This came across as me like just shitting on him, but I just want to put it out like this. When I see a video like that, my brain automatically cuts the damage control. Because I'm thinking, look, everyone's already pissed off about the state of the game. They're already pissed off about Destiny. Lightfall really fucked Destiny's prospects. Oh my god, this made me remember. There was an interview for Marathon, and they talked about how, was it Christopher something? Basically the team that made Forsaken was automatically moved to basically moved on to Marathon, or maybe I'm paraphrasing wrong, but basically the team that made Forsaken went on to a different project after they finished Forsaken. So the last 4 or 5 Forsaken came out in 2018, I want to say. The last couple years of expansions, Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, Witch Queen, they've been made by a separate team, not the Forsaken team. And again, this circles back to just like resentment. How do you expect someone to invest into Marathon when you've seen how you treat this game? So you're telling me you've taken all this talent, all this stuff, and you've taken it from Destiny and work on a different project? Well, sure, Marathon might be the best thing ever, but again, the issue that's always gonna be back at least that should be in back of everyone's mind is what happened to Destiny? How can you guarantee that wouldn't happen to Marathon? How can you guarantee that once Marathon makes a lot of money, makes gangbusters, you won't just take that same team and move them to the next project? It's crazy to me that actually went. Even the GDC presentation, again to this day, that one still is crazy. The whole entire, we purposely hold back our developers. We don't want to over deliver, creating patterns. Well, you know what's also you know what's also creating patterns? Under delivery, mediocrity. Again, if you look throughout this entire channel history, I've always been critical. I've complained yada yada. The point being, with at least in my mindset, their under-deliver, their mediocrity has already created a pattern in my mind, right? We didn't even get a seasonal, ending mission. This is the last week of the season. We didn't even get that, right? It's just, under-delivery, mediocrity is also creating a pattern, just like how over-delivery does. So, I don't know what the fuck they're on. But, again, in my personal opinion, this video, the Joe Blackburn, does it take a lot of balls? I don't think so. To admit that you're wrong and you fucked up. I mean, I thought that's just like a basic thing you do. Like if you make a mistake, you say you're sorry, you try to fix it, right? Again, all this comes off as lip service. Again, I really do feel bad for the PvP people, but I feel like they're just doing this just to try to hang you on until Marathon comes out or some shit. Who fucking knows? But yeah, that GDC thing. Again, I think of GDC. I think of that developer interview for Marathon. I don't know what team's making Final Shape. I really hope they're doing their best. And honestly, like I said, Final Shape really is the end. And I really hope we don't get another Witch Queen. And what I mean another Witch Queen is that Witch Queen had, let's say, a good story, right? Good campaign. But it was devoid of other stuff. No, we got 2 strikes. I think we got Disjunction. We didn't get much in terms of core playlists. And I know one of my clanmates said this to me, and it was actually pretty funny, because it made perfect sense. For some reason, Bungie has decided to invest a lot of resources and effort into the seasonal model instead of the rest of the game. And the funny part is that, the reason why it's so funny is that the seasons are fleeting. They're gone. They disappear. So why would you invest so much time in development into something that's going to be gone in a year, right? Going back again to the state of the game. We believe the totality of this year's content will, give you more narrative than a single campaign ever could. Or whatever. Well, guess what, Bungie? When Final Shape comes around, I am almost 100% sure that these seasons, Season of Defiance, Deep, whatever the hell comes next, those are going to be gone. So, if someone later comes down the line to play Lightfall, they're going to be like, well, what the fuck happened? You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. They seem to always be mismanaged, and I don't know. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of just the AAA studios just not not actually making good games or making mediocrity and fixing it later. I don't know. Um, that was a really off-topic tangent. I'm sorry. That marathon thing. I was like, I knew I was forgetting something. Um, but that does unfortunately lead credence into another comment I made a while ago, saying, "Well, I really do think that Destiny kind of stumbled to success, and it seems like if the team that made Forsaken, obviously they have like High Moon and I think Vision something, if those people weren't working on Destiny for the last couple of years, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, and it makes me worried that Witch Queen really was a fluke, and I don't have no idea what the quality of Final Shape is going to be." Um, but yeah, I think let me actually look at some of the stuff, so it's not just me like talking about the video. I'm addressing it. So let's go line by line here. He said that he's disappointed with the quality of the game article because basically they're saying they're all hands on deck work on the final shape. The showcase is for a wide audience. Okay, so I don't know. I guess so. Uh, so anyone can jump into. Who cares? He mentioned that there's going to be a Strange Coin Zur revamp. I do know that uh, apparently Strange Coins are really hard to get, like, so you can get the Dares of Eternity, like, to even get going into that loop or get coins to get Dares of Eternity bounties to give you, like, apparently it's really rare to come by. Let's see. They're going to change how the HUD works, so, like, now you can see more than 4 buffs and stuff like that, which is nice. We've been asking for that for a long time. The showcase is going to focus on the story, location, and touch a bit on how the live service might change after the final shape. So basically, after final shape, how are they going to monetize the game? What's next for Destiny, right? Joe and Dan, the general manager, will be on set taking questions and providing clarity. Okay, whatever. PvP, focus on sandbox balance and ritual updates, one new map, and a few reprisals a year has been the approach. Basically, they're saying that this approach was not producing Crucible that our players expected of us. And next year will be a single map pack free for everyone, a few maps purposely designed with specific strengths in mind. So basically, we're getting a map pack next year. Talked about the new game mode Checkmate and Relic, some new modes, yada yada yada. A comp point restructure, basically changing how comp works. I think they removed Rift from comp. I know that was like a big one people were complaining about. Bungie's building a PvP strike team. Not like strikes like Vanguard strikes, just just a name. Basically, they're going to be basically a team focused on PvP, which again confirms that what everyone knew, that PvP didn't have a dedicated team at all for years. So whatever. They're now recategorized, or they're saying, I don't know. This seems like a recategorization of me because I've never heard of aspirational stuff. But basically, we have 3 categories: aspirational, narrative, and silver. Silver is obviously Eververse. Aspirational is raids, dungeons, and trials. Narrative is seasonal stuff and ritual stuff. And they said that sometime last year they decided to shift the focus a bit to seasonal and endgame stuff, and this was poorly communicated. Now, again, I'm going to interject real quick. I don't know why they'd focus on seasonal stuff when seasons are fleeting and they don't stay around ever, as opposed to other stuff in the game, whatever. They said an Eververse set that was planned for Season 22 will instead be a ritual reward, free for everyone to earn. So, that last line, I will be very curious, because again, in the state of the game, one of the reasons why they said they don't do ritual armor, they didn't do it this year, is that it had a low adoption, right? No one really wanted to wear it or even transmog it, and obviously the elephant in the room as well. Look at all the Eververse armor, and also the stats on the ritual armor is really shit when you get it to drop. So, I'll be very curious to see if the Eververse set, if this new ritual armor this time around will be adopted, right? A lot, so. But again, when I'm skimming to that, all I'm thinking is, okay, so we fucked up. We're gonna make a PvP team now, and the showcase is gonna be about this, like every other showcase you've ever seen before. Like again, the Lightfall showcase is about the story, the Witch Queen showcase is about the story, the location. Nothing new, nothing. At least in terms of talking about the showcase, obviously the new information about PvP. But again, my brain is like, I don't know. Why does it take until it's gotten this bad for you guys to get off your ass? But whatever. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to end this video without saying, oh, that's it. But, again, to reiterate my point, Did Joe Blackburn need to make this video? No. Uh, does it take a lot of balls for him to make this video? I don't think so, my personal opinion. Uh, if he did make this video, my opinions have changed. No. When he made this video, has my opinions changed a Bungie? No. But honestly, it kind of sours me a little bit more because, again, I'm thinking this reminds me of like a Beyond Light situation or a Shadowkeep situation where they needed to do some damage control, some lip service, say, hey guys, give you a little bit of hope to hold on. Again, if I actually cared enough, I could splice in all like a million promises they've made that they've retracted, they've gone back on. There's countless examples at this point. Again, I could splice in the Marathon team, taking all the talent away from Destiny and putting it into Marathon. There's a lot of stuff, and ultimately, when it comes down to is I don't know why the community is praising Joe Blackburn for doing this. And ultimately, if your opinions will, he didn't have to do this, you're right, he didn't have to do this, and I guarantee you it still wouldn't have changed anything, at least in my opinion. But again, ultimately, Destiny's in the way that it is Destiny's in the state of that it is in. Ultimately, for first and foremost, it's because of Bungie. They ultimately decide what to do with the game, but also the community doesn't help when they accept mediocrity or praise them for doing stuff that should just, in my opinion, just be standard. I don't understand. I've seen a lot of games getting praise, like Atomic Heart or Baldur's Gate, stuff like that, because the developers actually listen to the community. They actually put time into stuff that used to be industry standard, right? So I don't know. Again, I don't. It's weird because I know people hear this video and think that I want Destiny to crash and burn. I don't. I really want the game to be good. If the final shape's good, I'm happy. Obviously, I wouldn't be here this long just to see the fucking sink ship, right? I'm still just as retarded as everyone else. I still have one sliver. This really is like the last sliver of hope I have. That hopefully final shape will be good. We'll see if there's seasonal model restructure, because again, in a week's time there'll be a new season, and we'll see if they've actually changed anything in a meaningful way. I don't know. I'm gonna doubt. I'm still thinking it's gonna be like you play for 30 minutes a week and then you log off. But yeah, this video is way longer than intended to. But anyways, thanks for watching. Oops, pressed the wrong button there. Sorry.